Hello, I'm going to present to you the Rave New Year, or not, like, we have entered 2026, right? But in human design and the gene keys, we are following the Rave Mandala year. And when we are transiting into the 2026, we are in gate 38. And that is not when the new energetical year starts. It starts on the 22nd of January. So we're gonna go through now what the time means leading up to the actual change of the energetic cycle. And the energetic cycle starts in the 41st gate because it's the start codon. This is where our human genetic journey starts. And this is a new cycle every year. And the new cycle initiates into new collective mutations, awareness, journeys, experiences, whatever you want to call it. And before that, there is a process. Every single key, the sun enters one gate for 5 point something days. And the Earth also. And then the other planets and the moon are shifting through, whatever. The interesting part with this year's ending is that Mars and Venus is also transiting through the exact gate as the sun. So we are very much highlighting this ending process, which is kind of, suiting us being still in the year of the snake. So 2026 doesn't equal the the year of the horse, because the Chinese calendar has its own. It starts in February, so every system, everything's got its own. The astrological New Year is happening in. Is it in March and April when we enter? Um, uh, I can't recall the name right now. When we enter Aries, sorry. But and that's all sweet and that, but gate 41 is the start codon in our genetic imprint, and that's where all the longing, where the experiences that wants to be experienced are um, are activated. Yeah, so from late December until the sun enters gate 41, we move through a period of retrospection and completion. And what's interesting is that three of these four gates are individual gates. They're part of the individual circuitry, which is a very mutative process, and it's got its own pulse. So, and also, as we know, as the human design system teaches us, is that everything is duality. So it's like it is or it isn't. But within your process of becoming more aware of the energetics in relation, you are more likely, I guess, that's how I see it, to be a part of the mutation because you will, in your process, learn to take things less and less personal and start seeing things for what they really are. So this is time for reflect and integrate and close the previous cycle correctly. Um, so each of these energies has their own question. The 38, did I find meaning? The 54, who's in my life? 61, what did I learn about myself? And the 60, am I ready to let go of the old? So these are like general question and themes, and we're gonna look into them a little bit more closer. So the gate 38 is a gate of the fighter. And yeah, this is about finding meaning and purpose. And I can tell you a little bit about my personal experience with this gate because this is my Mercury gate, it's 38.3. So I learned this in relation to the tribe and the collective. And also, if you heard me speak about before, that I find it so fascinating that we learn the same thing over and over again, just through different new experiences, new people, new lenses. And this year, I really had this process of being so angry with myself because I thought, oh my God, I thought I'd learned that now, and yeah, I was so angry with myself for not listening to my inner authority through some stuff. But I was like, wow, I did listen to certain things, but I also didn't. And I now can see exactly what that process is when I don't. So hopefully it is integrating within me just by me have been reflecting on this for a long time of this year. And starting this year, there was a lot of things I was trying to escape from because they were too painful to keep on facing. So I decided to choose a different direction. But within that frequency of direction, it didn't lead me to where I wanted to go. So there's so many lessons in seeing my incarnation cross, seeing my mind, seeing my decision-making process in a new light. And I feel like this has really taught me about that, the relationship about the individual to the collective nature. We need to, we go into the collective field through our individual journey and face certain lessons over again until it gets so clear that you cannot do anything else than take responsibility. And I feel like entering certain situations in a grounded and not reactive way has been a process that is more integrated now than it has been before, for me at least. And it's really interesting to see how the collective is in relationship with the individual, because once you learn that lesson, you will have another frequency of experiences and people and all of that stuff. And yeah, that is cool, so cool to witness and to see the energetics in that, and for what it is, and to help you open your heart and find that compassion for everything, like for real, not just as a mental concept, but like really feeling it. And that is a process. I feel like I'm still going through process with that. I mean, I don't think that's something that we can decide like, oh, I will start this process now and finish it now. No, that is that mutation that is happening. That's the transformation in its work. But being aware of how transformation works, you can also face it with much more compassion for yourself also, and everything around. And also with that, stand on another foundation, stand on another ground when you step into your next experiences in life. So yeah, was my energy invested wisely? Did I fight the battles that are truly mattered to me? Why did I stay true to myself and where did I not? This is what I've just explained to you. This is something I do quite all of the time because, as I said, it's my Mercury gate. But yeah, this is the time with the New Year's. This is where we are in the gate 38. So it's really, I find it quite fascinating to look at people's contemplation about what they did during the year. It suits so well with the gate 38. But we necessarily do not have to start making the promises and making the initiation for how next year will be, because we still have some process to go through. And the next one is gate 54, which we are right now if you're listening to this when I release this. But and this is a tribal gate, and this is the gate of ambition and transformation. So did you transform? Materially, spiritually, it's all connected anyways, but like was there a certain focus? Who have I grown with? It's like who's in your life? Who has who has helped you to come to awareness with yourself? And I don't because well, you can measure it in good and bad if you want, but it's all about coming back to where are you making your decisions from? Because you can measure what you want outside of you for bad and good, but where is your intention coming from for doing something? Because we if we stand on a foundation of fear, that greedy energy that is in the 54 will play out. The desperate nature will play out, and it's within us all. We can sense that. We know that. We like it's funny to see now times where I've tried to hide that within me. I find it funny when other people are trying to hide it because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. But we think it isn't. We think we can hide in it, but we cannot. So this is just when I feel with this energy, I just feel like it's such a redirection again. Like what foundation are you standing on? Where are you making your decisions from? Remind yourself of how your mind works and what is easy for you to misidentify with. If you've been in the process for some time, in the deconditioning process, as we call it in human design, you will know this by now, and you will start noticing, oh my God, this is the pattern that starts coming up when I make decisions. Usually for people, for example, with an undefined emotional center, makes emotional decisions. People with emotional authority makes decisions too quick because they're in a high or in a low, whatever. It's all about the awareness of how the mechanics working within us. But this one is also a reminder about who supports your direction and goals. And to be really honest with that, that can be scary. Which connections are still aligned with your path? Can also be scary to be honest about that. But invitation right now, I think it's on Sunday we shift into the 61. And this is again then inner truth and mystery. Oh my God, this is my Venus gate. Venus and conscious moon have the same gate and line. And so Venus, we're going to talk about Venus, but Venus is what is really important to you. That's like your values in what you value in life. And remember, when we speak about this, be aware that these are like filters for every single being that we have. So learning about Venus, you can really learn about what matters to people through that lens. Get to know them through that. So this is an individual gate. This is part of the pulse, the mutative pulse. It is what it isn't. It's you can't force it. It happens when it happens, whatever. But being aware of that this is active now, then also not only with the sun, but with the Mars and Venus at the same time, can really bring you some insights about perhaps your decision-making process and perhaps can help you face where you haven't been honest with yourself. And because wherever you're not honest with yourself, you're not honest with other people either. And I don't say this in a way to put pressure or guilt or whatever. Like I'm just saying it from an energetic, mechanical viewpoint. This is what this system is here to help us with, because we can't create anything of value if we don't know where we make our decisions from, or yeah, who we are is something that we are uh experiencing along the way. We're incarnating all the time. All these different cycles are taking us on journeys all the time to get to know ourselves better, and yeah, and not take things so personally and not take things so seriously. It's a but also take things serious that is supposed to be taken serious, but just to face energetics for what it is. So yeah, questions to sit with: was I aligned with my inner truth? Did I trust my own knowing? Were you influenced by others instead of yourself? Do you know what truly inspires you? Yeah, this is the time to contemplate about these things. So starting Sunday, and then we're going to be in that energy for 6 days, and then we're going into gate 60. And this is the completion of the wheel. And this is, yeah, are you ready to let go of everything you now know you have to let go of? Especially, 70% of the planet is generator aura. And generator aura is all about letting go of stuff before you can call something new in. Or if you try to call something new in, what is there to let go of? Um, yeah, this is about understanding limitations. Because when you understand limitations, you know how you're going to outgrow them. There's going to be new limitations, and there's new acceptances, there's new embracement to do, there's new release to do. It's all a process, it's a mutation process. So, what obstacles did you face this year? Which limitations must be accepted rather than resisted? Is the resistance will show us, the resistance will show us exactly what we need to let go of. And it's usually very connected with mind. How can we get into the body and really face ourselves? We stop breathing. We don't stop breathing, but we stop breathing in the natural rhythm to you when you stop being yourself. When you're not, you restrict the breath. So the breath cannot, really be with all of you when you're not making decisions as yourself, when you're not putting yourself in the situations that you're supposed to be in. So yeah, pay attention to your breath. Are your breath restricted? Because if it is, you probably are holding on to resistance. What is no longer aligned with who you're becoming, and this might take some work. And what are you ready to release to make space for the new? Yeah. So as I said, this year the cycle is amplified because Venus and Mars are here. So it's like a layered transmission in the neutrino field. And also, if you heard me speak about the neutrino field before, this is a reminder that the neutrino field is just a neutrino field. We can by being aware of what's going on in the neutrino field, we can also stop making ourselves wrong for things that are happening and see the relationship for what it is. You know, your blueprint, your imprint of time is happening one moment in time, and then you're all the time in relation with the universe, with other people, with whatever is going on. So being aware of that will make you more aware of yourself and the cycles that you're in. So the sun is here to, yeah, what we're conscious of, what we're becoming conscious of. Core theme life force. Um, Venus values, as I said before, your Venus activations is what you care about. Values, attraction, and relationships, what we care about, desire and bond through. Mars. Before I move forward, Venus is your IQ sphere in the Venus sequence. Mars, drive, courage, maturation. How we act, initiate, and learn through experience. Yeah, so Mars energy is really about showing you. So it can bring people in situations to show you where you still are not mature. This is what I feel was happening for me this year. It was bringing me situations where I still wasn't mature and had to learn to face myself because I was running away from myself. Yeah, so when the Sun, Venus, and Mars move through the same gates, the same themes are activated on multiple levels at once, where conscious awareness, values and relationships, actions, desires, growth through friction. So perhaps now during this time, you will be faced with situations that are amplifying this. So you're really gonna face yourself, or it might be shown to you in your dreamscape what was happening during the year, or it might be showing up in however you're facing yourself right now. It can be in meditation, whatever, in contemplation. You like the universe is really helping you to see these things, what you value and where you still need to have some growth to do. But yeah, it's really easy to numb yourself or to not want to look at that. Easy to do that, but this invitation to really face it instead of running away. Because the more we face ourselves, the more embodied, the more we can relate to others and ourselves. And it's harder to bypass or stay mental about it. Uh, and this is also, as I said before about 2025, I said this is going to be a really rough year. And 2026 is going to be an even rougher year if you still refuse to look at where you're still not mature and yeah, your trauma. Uh, uh, the Venus sequence is a trauma map. So I invite you to really go through that and see if there's still some situations in your life that's happened early life that keeps you stuck. It's not your fault. It's not somebody's fault, but I feel like I face this a lot. Like I feel like if people are competing in who's got the worst trauma. And yeah, like we are all brought up in a very dysfunctional uh, environments. We have built systems that isn't suitable for our individual processes. It's just like, okay, you're supposed to fit into this, and everybody thinks there's something wrong with them. And instead of us creating from the inside out, and we have created system that is like, uh, yeah, you have to adapt to this, otherwise there's something wrong with you. But yeah, we're going back to that, and this is where we're going, like 2027 and forward. This is us coming into the embodied awareness that we are one, not just the concept of that. And that's why so many when people feel so disconnected and questioning everything because yeah, that shift hasn't happened yet. But you were here. You were here. You were born for the shift. So it's coming, it's happening, but it's happening because we are making it happen. So you still have to take part. You still have to do your part to make this comfortable. Uh, we all play our part. So yeah, you're very important. Everyone is really important. Um, and as we also learned through the Venus sequence, which I find so fascinating, is how we're like, what is your role in relationships? What is your core role that you are playing out with everyone? Because that is a theme that is coming up. Like we all carry an energetic blueprint of wounds that we're here to play out with each other. And it can be very good to be aware of that and to also know how to face it. Um, so we don't repeat and get stuck in the cycles. Yeah, the collective effect. This is about embodiment, and it's gonna, yeah, the collective effect. This year's transition is not just reflective, it's lived, felt, and acted out. As I said, you might be facing situation, relationship now that will really show you uh, where you still need to mature, where and how your relationships are showing up. Um, Meaning, ambition, inner truth, and acceptance are not only questions we think about, they are themes we experience through relationships, choices, tension, desire, action, closing, integration. When multiple planets move through the same gates, the neutrino field carries a coherent message. The invitation this year to align what you know, what you value, and how you act. Understand, I want to say here, understand how you react so you know how you and like contemplate that how you react to things and how you in a mature way would act instead. That alignment is what prepares the ground for the new cycle to begin. What wisdom do you bring into the new cycle? Because then on the 22nd, I think it's yeah, the 22nd of January, we're moving into the 41, and I can show you what that looks like because that is some really cool activations. It's gonna be about community. We're initiated about community this year, and the 41 being also activated in, am I sharing? No, I'm not. Am I? I cannot. This is not the right one. Share 27, 26. This is not the right one. Not February. Hmm. Okay, this is not the right one. Maybe I can. That must be like a glitch with something because that is not what the New Year's looked like when I saved it. Okay, so the New Year's is let's see. I did prepare. I saved these ones because so, but apparently when I'm saving, it shows a different date. I wonder if they're aware of that. Anyways, you see here, 41.1 is Sun, and we're gonna be there in Venus, no, in Mercury, Venus. Mars is probably gonna come in and out there during these days we're in the 41, but not on the actual date. And then we have Pluto. And Pluto is the big activation for the shift that is taking place with the global cycles next year. We can talk more about that in another video. But yeah, I just want to show you. I think this is very fascinating that we are bringing a new star code, there's a new activation for how we relate and how we mature. Um, Pluto's helping us transform that and the sun. And yeah, that is a cool cycle starter, that's for sure. And as you see, the channel of a community is activated for this cycle. So you can really call in the cycle your community. And what I want to really have you focus on when you do that is really feel into your body what that will feel like for you and to be in the community where you feel free to be yourself, when you feel free to be yourself in the relationships, in your processes, in whatever, how will that feel? Because we can't think our way there. So yeah, I just want to remind you of that. And yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. I'm born in the 41st energy, so community is also going to be a theme for my cycle this year, which is exciting because that's what I've felt for a long time. And we'll see what that will look like. I will update you in a 1 year's time and see how that process is going, but hopefully you might be a part of it because it would be very fun to transform through the systems together because this is what I enjoy doing. So yeah, looking forward for that perhaps being the reality we are going to find ourselves in. Thank you so much for listening, and hopefully this was helpful. Thank you. Goodbye.